Grand Rising, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kings and queens, and everybody in between. You're in for a treat. This is the Ptah Shakur Speaks program coming out live to York, Pennsylvania viewership area in the White Rose Community Television Network, as well as going out live over Facebook right now. Concepts that I'll be going into today is what you see on the bottom of the screen there, the map of consciousness and how to ascend. Believe it or not, there's certain qualities that need to be met in order for one to meet and rise with the current level of ascension that's going on right now. So just to give you a little quick teaser, then we're going to go into our normal little affirmations and things of that nature. But these are qualities that would lead to soul mastery and the enlightenment during this really, really tumultuous time as right that we're living in right now. But number one, we need to be focused on service to others. Number two, making sure that we have virtue, making sure that we're ethically integrity is the word I'm trying to share right now. We see different things going on in the news and certain things showing that individuals that have had their authority and use that authority to produce nothing but corruption and pain that we see on our airways right now. So this is the time that we need integrity. It's very, very important when I'll be going into all these in detail as far as how to detach from the illusion of separation. The fourth one that we need, qualities that we need right now at this particular time, is to understand how the interconnectedness of all things and how that can actually allow us to adapt a different mindset, which will be very, very beneficial for this time. Number five, make sure we're applying our will and effort to bring forth what it is that we have intention. We got too much entertainment going on right now and not enough education that the powers that be are kind of leading us down the way. We also need patience in all forms and triggers that's going on right now. And I'll go into some of the news items very, very shortly. We need truthfulness of self. We all need to follow our hearts, follow our passions. This is the greatest time to do that right now so we can manifest and bring in the things that we want instead of manifesting the things that we do not want. We must have an unwavering commitment and determination to the path to pursue light, even in seemingly absolute darkness. We got to make sure that we keep our spirits high, make sure that we're promoting love and light and bringing in the kind of world that we want to be, leave to our grandchildren. Number nine, we need universal love and kindness to be expressed. And then last but not least, we need to be experience balance, equanimity, not being swayed by the dualities of what's taking place right now. And that's basically all we see macrocosmically going on in the world. It's just the exchange of good and bad, left and right. We see all these dualities crashing together at this wonderful time. Like I said, welcome in. This is the wonderful Ptah Speaks program. This is going out live over Facebook. I'm going to do my due diligence right now to make sure I send this out. Anybody want to give me a little microphone? Checkity check. Absolute darkness. We got to make sure. All right. Coming in live and clear, but want to make sure that this reaches everyone. This is a live call-in show. If you would like to call in and converse with me, the number is 717-846-5067. I'm going to take this moment right now and make sure I share this with all those in the Facebook land to make sure that this information gets out to those who need it. So there we go, sending out to all my followers there. So, like always, warning. The information you hear may excite you, may depress you, may trigger you. I promise to make sure that everything that comes across in this particular mind-body complex that I'm living in right now. Matter of fact, let me bring my necklace out so you can see some of the drip that I got on. This is my obsidian necklace right here. So, like I said, you may be. I promise that the information that's coming across is peer-reviewed science, as well as my expertise in all things metaphysical, supernatural, spiritual, and all things on that particular level. I've been gaining quite a bit of information and knowledge throughout my life, and so I would like to see a program like this, an individual helping to explain the cosmic changes that's going on right now. I don't see it, so you gotta be it until you see it. So, want to make sure I get that disclaimer out the way. Also, warning: I love myself. I would never hurt myself, and I would never kill myself. I'm a happily family married man. And I seek to be a pillar within my community and actually help to bring in this wonderful vibration that is permeating through every animate and inanimate being right now. This is the time written about in the Revelations where they speak about the return of the Christ consciousness. Yes, this is the time Go ahead and get that book out. There's a myriad of other things going on. But like I said in my intro, I always believe in starting off my day with an affirmation. Whenever you say I am, whatever you put behind that I am is what you positively charge yourself and allow to be brought into your experience. So we're going to make sure that we're speaking very, very positive things. Say I am beautiful, I am powerful, things of that nature. And please catch yourself. And if you don't catch yourself, catch the person that's next to you. When they start talking that doom and gloom, like I can't do anything right, I'm always blah, blah, blah. Just elbow them and say, man, wait, you need to wake up. You are a God. You are a divine being at a divine time right now. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are an ocean in a drop. So this is part of the programming that I have as far as bringing this information out to the public. My purpose is to educate, motivate, and inspire all those who are looking to understand the current changes going on. But I got a little intro that I'm going into a little bit. Then I got going into a map of consciousness and how you can actually ascend at this key time. I get a lot of questions there on Ptah Shakur Speaks. That's how you spell it right there. That's Ptah Shakur. You can go ahead and check me on YouTube, see the plethora of videos that I already have produced, sharing about these current cosmic changes that's going around, as well as a little bit of future prognostications I think you need to check out beginning there in January 1st, 2023, when I was sharing about these different anomalies that we're going to be seeing in the skies. Not only just UAPs, but other galaxy and stellar bodies, such as this new meteorite that is clung to our particular orbit. So people call it the second moon and things of that nature. But that, believe it or not, those things that happen above, as above is below. So those different bodies, when they enter into our realm, best believe they have an impact on you and I's existence right now. But like always, I begin with my affirmation. Like I was saying, you can take this one, use this one as your own warning. This information may come across kind of blasphemous. It may come across kind of egotistical. But like I said, once you say your affirmation and what you put behind it is what you're gearing yourself to. So this is what I'm gearing myself to. I am not perfect in my expression at all. However, this is what I seek to be. You always will be where you seek to be. Your power goes where your focus goes. So I am. So I know my place in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. I'm in the upper room. God is. God is. God is. I, Ptah Shakur, I pledge to always look for the best in each and every circumstance and in each and every one, especially starting with myself. I come from love. I am love. And I choose to look at the world through the lens of love. I commit myself to choosing the upper room towards vibrating at the highest level possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am free, I am free, I am free. Behold, I make all things new. I am the omnipresent, all-powerful intelligence that's governing this here mind-body complex. I am the presence of divine harmony, and I now bring forth, and I'm always connected to the frequency in the heart of God, and I now bring forth solutions to change myself and to change the world. I am a limitless door which no man can shut. I am the mighty presence of divine source in action. In short, I'm your brother. In shorter, I'm you. I'm a catalyst for change, role model, youth advocate, transformational life coach, Reiki practitioner, entrepreneur, spiritual guide, and channel. I am a rebel here to uninstall cowardly behaviors. I am seek to shed light on the daily atrocities that are facing you and I. Orchestrated by these elites in our society. And if you don't know what's going on, now it's time to really start paying attention, because their end game is closer than you think. But have no fear. Let not your heart be troubled. Individuals like myself are here shining the divine light. We seek to be beacons of love and light to help encourage others to be beacons of love and light in yourself. I intend to promote nothing but love and light, motivation, education for all those seeking to understand these cosmic changes that's going on right now, that is pulsing in every animate and inanimate being. If you don't have a clue what I'm saying, this is part of the revelation which said, behold, I see a new heaven and a new earth, for the old heaven has been passed away. And also in Muslims, they speak about the Mahdi, return of the Mahdi. Even the Mayans in 2012 alluded to this glorious time. So if you're pulling air right now, regardless of who you're voting for or whatever your religious affiliation, even your sexual orientation, it does not matter, not a single bit. Fact that you are breathing air right now proves that you are a divine, powerful being. To be standing in the stage this wonderful stage, put a smile on your face. This is the great and dreadful day of the Lord. If it's great, if you understand what's going on, and it can somewhat appear dreadful if you do not. Let me continue with my intro before I get into everything. Like I said, I'll try to go into the comments. So I see people lining up having on the Facebook right there. But like I said, you want to call in, we can do this all on air. 717-846-5067. I'm a dangerous man to those elites and the shadow government that's been corrupting the world since the 1950s. If you don't believe me, look at the farewell address of Eisenhower, in which he speaks about the industrial military complex that was creeping in, that has now taken over the constitutional rights of you and I, and we're actually operating in a parallel shadow government at this very moment in time. However, I feel free, I feel happy to share that information with you, because their end is coming to a really swift end with all the corruption and all these different things that are presenting themselves right now. This is the time for the righteous. Put a smile on your face. So, for all those identify as feminine, we need your vision, we need your energy to help correct the ills that is being experienced by our current civilization due to the over-masculinity representation. For those who identify as masculine, I would ask you to join me in this particular mindset. We would rather die like a man rather than live like cowards, and let's do what we can at this moment in time to stand up for the human family and actually do what we can to help the citizens actually become better versions of yourself, in short. To all my YouTube subscribers, I believe I'm at 140 YouTube subscribers, soon to be 144,000 YouTube subscribers. Check that number out. Remember, you are eternal beings with forever being a fraction of eternity. You are beautiful, powerful, divine children of the most divine grid program. You call him God, you call Allah, you call it whatever you want to call it. But that creator, we are basically experiencers. We're the dreams of the universe that are here in physical, somewhat physical form. Because believe it or not, you can take all your atoms together and put them all together, and you can fit on top of a tip of a pencil. So what is life? What is reality? We're going to go into that very, very shortly. But to finish my intro to the hooded youth, we see you out there. Not only do you got your hood up, now you got your face mask, you got your mask. You really can't even recognize when you see them down the street. But we believe the youth that are walking around on the face of the earth right now are some of the most powerful beings that has ever existed in any realm in this multiverse, that are now here at this particular time right now to help with the ascension of the planet. And what we, those that are the older youth, shall I like to say, what we want to do, we want to make sure that we unlock the greatness that is residing in the chest of these youth. And so we love them, and we're going to make sure we pour all that we can and all that's in our power to make sure we unlock the greatness in them. So all my star seeds, wanderers, indigo children, angelic souls, listen closely. Yeah, put a smile on your face. We are the new founding fathers of this creation. We are writing a new version of what is to come. So we're going to get to a point, 20, 30 years, you're going to be asked, what did you do in this 2020 time? What did you do at this key juncture in time to help propel yourself and find the greatest version of yourself to move into this new heaven and new earth that was written about in scriptures? Or just stick around with some of those elites got planned for us. And if you don't know, we're going to go into some of that. And you can go ahead and reach me on Gmail, ptahshakur@gmail.com. I do got some questions for Ptah's mailbag that I will be trying to get to very, very shortly. But I'm asking everybody, we are the new founding fathers of this creation, and I'm asking everybody, unite for love for self. Yes, you got to have that unconditional love for yourself. I know we all make mistakes. I know we all fall short of the glory of God. But best believe, God has never left you to the frequency that causes your heart to beat whatever times per second. That energy that you are made of and comprised of is directly a source of that divine fractal, which is the creator. And I'm asking everybody to find that love for self and cast just a small smidget, a dollop, and give it to your physical reflections, what we like to call our fellow human beings that are walking around in seemingly flesh. Like, they're separate from me. We share the same energy, same experience. Let's have love and respect for everybody in our creation. Let's do what we can to actually change and actually create this heaven on earth that was promised. So that's my little intro that I like to go into to explain a little bit about myself and why I need to be listened to at this particular time. Like I said, call-in number 717-846-5067. But before we get into all that, as you see, I'm coming this show here, like I said, is promoting nothing but love, light, education, and motivation. You see a lot of the videos that I've already placed is how to change your diet. If you're looking to, you may feel that internal change within yourself and you want to opt out and maybe don't want to eat some more of those meats. You find that eating those heavy meats is now causing a burden on your nervous system. May cause a little bit of inflammation. May cause headaches and pains and things of that nature. You're like, what is going on? Something's going on. You're darn straight something's going on. We're moving into a higher frequency and dimension. And so if you would like to ride along with that, then there's certain changes that need to be done. Certain changes of your habits. Wonderful book over here too. Wonderful book here. Please check this out. This is the prop. The Transformational Power of Habits. It's a wonderful book that details how you can actually use your habits to help propel you into the greatest life that you deserve. So, plethora of videos, we go into deep history that is not included on our textbooks, and is not, and recent scientific discoveries, mind you, that have not, interesting enough, have not found their ways into the mass media, the Foxes, the CNNs, and the da-da-da-doo-doo-doos. Hasn't found their way in it yet, but these things do exist. Hence, Ptah Shakur is here to make sure you're covered and present that information to you so you can have an idea as far as what you want to do with the power, the tremendous divine power which you are. How are you going to implement that? How are you going to add that to your experience? There's 3 different levels going on. If you're on the upper room, shout out, star seed, salute to you all. All those out there to understand you are a divine being and you're doing your due diligence to shed your light and your frequency to everyone, and you don't even have to say any words. You just come into the room and just bring a certain level of calm and peace and being a reflection of that divine creator. And then we got those that's on the middle track. A lot of individuals in that track right there. They're starting to question things. Starting to question the things that your elected officials have been sharing over the years. Starting to question the things that your religious practitioners have been sharing with you, and starting to question some of the indoctrinations and some of the belief systems that are no longer serving you. And you're thinking, maybe I should change those. You know, my father, my grandfather, my great-great-grandmother, and they're all within this particular mindset. However, how is this mindset serving me? Because you, yes, you, are the individual that's here at this tremendous time and being able to walk into this new or stay to see what everybody got planned at this particular level. So that's the purpose of the show. I did my affirmation, so I'm getting into some of the crust of my conversation. I'm trying to pay attention to the Facebook, but gotta rock and roll. So with that, I'm gonna change my little screen here. Boom. Here we go. Boom. First but not least is the understanding what I have there on the screen. I apologize. I think the air conditioner kind of zonked out, so you might see me pat my head like ha ha ha. Might sound like a little southern preacher down here. I say. But, however, excuse me, the understanding of this, what I kind of want to go to, and this is only an hour-long program. This is going out live to the White Rose Community Television here in York, PA, channel 16 and channel 18, as well. This is going out live over Facebook, and then very shortly will be on YouTube, Rumble, and on the TikTok there as well. However, the purpose of this particular program, cut things up here, is I'm creating a curriculum to help individuals kind of move into this particular energy. And so the first topic that I chose to bring, let me see if I kind of move out the way here, is the calibrated level of consciousness. Now, this particular graph that you see behind me at the very, very top, the name of the level is enlightenment. And notice how the colors actually relate to the chakra systems in your body. At the very high, at the very top, you have the violet. And at the lower, you have the red. And if you notice, some of our youth right now, that red, which is normally kind of characterized as our sexual impetus or our sexual energy, when you can get individuals to be overactive in certain chakra centers, it can really throw off the balance of the whole entire body. So please, parents, I'm going to do a little quick PSA. The more you know. I got a little star kind of, I'm going to do a little intro. The more you know. Parents, please, if you have your young individuals and are having birthday parties and things, please not put on overly sexual music. Put on some instrumentals. Do something like that. I'm telling you that it actually is throwing us our whole future off. based off of we're allowing certain devices and certain individuals to teach and raise our children. However, they're your responsibility. Take responsibility for your own use. So back to this. So at the very, very top of the calibrated level of consciousness, you have enlightenment, which is 700 to 1,000. And then let's go to the very, very bottom. At the very, very bottom of the calibrated map of consciousness is shame, humiliation. That's pretty much the energy of that. And notice how your emotions will let you know what level of this map of consciousness is and what you can expect out of life. So moving up from shame, we have guilt. Moving up from guilt, we have apathy. Moving up from apathy, we have grief. So that's the lowest level. So if you find yourself constantly, now we vacillate throughout the day to different type of levels, but if you find your median energetic emotion is that of shame, grief, apathy, and guilt, congratulations, you've fallen right into the hands of the individuals that are trying their best to keep you on that low level so you can never activate the divine spark that is inside of you and you can create your own reality. Those who remain at that particular level, yes, you still have creating abilities. However, your creative abilities are now hijacked and they're utilized to help these elites and those who actually know, that have the ones who are bringing the overly sexualized music in the way, the Rothschilds that actually changed the tone frequency of music, and all those people of those ilk are trying their due diligence to bombard you with fear and keep your energy low so you're easily controllable. We're keeping everything happy today. If you want to know what the elites have planned for you, please go check another video. I want to keep a smile on my face today. So moving up from those shame, guilt, apathy, and grief, you have fear, desire, and anger. Let's just take them in small portions. Believe it or not, it is better to be angry than to be shameful, guilty, or overall despair and regret. Because as you move up this calibrated level of consciousness, you'll find a reclamation of your own power. Yes, anger, and then there's vengefulness is right after that. So it's better to be angry and vengeful than to be sad and depressed. Some people may tell you that. They want you to be sad and depressed. You don't have your power. You're easily moved around. Like I was sharing before, is how we're easily controlled by four main things. Fluoride in your toothpaste, chemtrails with the aluminum being sprayed, Roundup Ready products that's being sprayed, the pesticides spraying on all of your salads and things of that nature. And last but not least, Wi-Fi. Sharp as a tack. Those four things are made to keep you on this very, very low level. So once you reach the level, when you're moving into the yellow here, and this comes from Dr. Hawkins. He wrote a powerful book. Anybody can hear the sound of my voice, please go check this book out. The most powerful book I've ever read. Besides this wonderful book about the power of the transformational habits. Besides that, Power versus Force book shared details that individuals are even living in power or you're living in force. When you're living in the realm of force, nothing seems to come to you easy. Have you ever experienced that out there? It's almost like when you go to grab something, that's the force that you're bringing actually pushes it further away. Remember, everything is magnetic. Thoughts are magnetic. You are magnetic. You are a toroidal field of energy. And so whatever you put out in the form of positivity will come back in the form of positivity. Whatever you put in the form of negativity will come back. You basically get exactly what you want. So the understanding that we're supposed to take from this is that when you reach a certain level, now listen very closely, because this is where you can feel the bump from being in total desperation, tragic, hopelessness, evil, miserable, frightened, disappointed. And this is your common mindset. Like I said, a continual mindset. Once you reach this certain level, which is the level of, which is called the level of reason. So that first little aspect there, we call that the survival paradigm. They want us all. The elites, want us to stay in this realm. But when you move up and you find courage, which is the level of 200. Let me see. I put my spectacles on. Make sure we're looking at the same thing here. Right around here, you'll find right where it goes in yellow, right above the red line, right there is courage. Once you start to operate in courage, then you start to move in. Then you have a certain view of life. You have a certain view of God. That's how you can tell. You can use this as a key, folks. Meaning this. For those who are operating in shame, they have an emotional state of humiliation. They also have a perspective of their self as being despised. They have their view of self is miserable. They speak to themselves as far as they're being miserable. And I just said, when I first started out, I gave an affirmation. When you say I am, whatever you put behind that is where you put yourself at. Please, I hope ain't nobody's out there saying I am miserable. Because if you put yourself into that, that's what you allow to constantly bring into your life is more things to make you miserable. And so, having that miserable mindset, how does that look for God view? You think, any individual in that miserable mindset, they think that God despises them. Now, if this rings any bell, like I said, you can reach out to me. This is a live call in the show, 717-846-5067. Now, in relations to that, suppose you bring your vibration up, and you're up into the level of reason. You've taken back your courage, and now your view of life is meaningful. Have you spoken to someone who's always, you ask them no matter what's going on in their life, it could be some terrible traumatic thing going on, and they say, man, how did that loss? I believe I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan a little bit, getting out of sports a little bit, but it was John Harbaugh. They had a big win this upcoming Sunday, and so one of his speeches that he did in the locker room, the celebratory speech, he said it was looking dark, and he opened up his playbook, and on the actual playbook where he wrote, the glory belongs to God. Meaning that by him checking that notebook and being reminded that whatever glory that takes place, it belongs to God. So that kind of sculpted his mindset no matter what was going on outside of his self, what was going on in that particular stadium. He kept an even keel and kept a perspective of his life being meaningful. Individuals that see their life as meaningful, they see God as God as being wise, merciful, inspiring. So how you think God thinks about you has a direct correlation to what emotion you're operating in, which also has a correlation to how much manifesting energy are you actually truly bringing in. Now we go just real briefly, we're going to go into the upper realms, which is above reason and integrity. A lot of us are in that reason and integrity. We're starting to question, like I said, question the things that were being taught to us, question our indoctrination, question the things that our parents said in their ignorance. They're starting to utilize this thing up here on the top of their shoulders, something that these bad actors don't want you to do. They want you to be impulsive. They want you to do the first thing that comes out of your mind. We have to be very, very intentional this time. So once you begin to rise on this spiritual journey, you'll find yourself at the energetic log of 500, which is in the realm of this blue area right here, which is love. Now, we've heard songs, we've heard it in the scriptures, as how our love conquers all, and how the frequency of love and gratitude are able to pull you out of the most deepest, darkest depths that you can possibly experience. And you won't need another individual to pull you out. You won't need a pope, papal, pastor, no one of that particular nature. Because remember what Jesus said, Yeshua said, is that the kingdom of God is within thee. And so this is part of the framework that can help you understand how to maximize and use your greatest of power. So if you're out there, this is a quick test. You can say, hey, I'm operating in love, Ptah. This is what I do all day, every day, baby. That's fine. So if you're operating in love, you have a God view of life being complete. You see God as being loving. You see everything being one. You see everything being all. Then you move up to the 550, which is joy. And this is one thing that amazed me when I was a youth education director. I would ask young people, I say, how you doing today? And if they had a good day, the response is good. If it was a not so good day, man, the vocabulary will be great. Oh, it was hard. My day was horrible. It was terrible. It was rough. They would go in depth with all the different word and utilizations of words to explain how terrible their day is. But when as far as using our vocabulary to share about how positive, how many of us experience what joy is? What is joy? I'll answer that for you. Joy is when you see life as being complete. You see God as being one, and you understand your connection with everything in the universe. And so I was just briefly kind of going into that. I may tap back into that at another time, but this is the real focus for everybody who's listening out there. And I do get quite a few questions on my Ptah mailbag. Let me check my time here. I got about 30 minutes. I'm moving and grooving along. I might get to my Ptah mailbag to answer some of these questions. I've been saying that for a while. But these are top 10 qualities for anyone who's looking to master or move into this and move up in your enlightenment process. Number one, which is very, very, very key and crucial, is to make sure that we are constantly applying self to others. Wait. This is where the DJ. What? Wait a second, Ptah. You shared in your intro that you got to have unconditional love for yourself. That's true, person that sounds just like me. You need to have that unconditional love for yourself first. And develop your boundaries of what you allow and what you won't allow. You will respect your own autonomy. And once you respect your own autonomy, then you can then respect other people's boundaries. You can then respect other people's autonomy, and you can start to respect them for being the flower, the version of themselves, and you start to understand that, hey, I am a divine source. I am a very creative being. There's no one like you. And I understand that the opposite of success is not failure. The opposite of success is conformity. And no longer will I conform what it is that's in my heart to do. I'm going to make sure that I do that and make sure that I keep a smile on my face. Make sure that I have that peace of mind deep, deep down in my heart. And once you do that, and once you start to have those boundaries and actually find ways to find that love. Some of us are living in some hard situations. We're living in a situation with people that don't respect us, that don't love us, that don't care for us. However, the mind is a funny thing. Believe it or not, we do not see with our eyes. We actually see with our minds. If you don't believe me, like I said, I got receipts here, folks. Check out something on Netflix. It's called Brain Games. It's a myriad of illusions where you think that is something is there. But then when you're shown, oh, that's not what it is. This person is taller than this person. That's not the color that I thought. We assume a lot with these particular eyeballs. We assume a lot with our belief systems, where something could be right in front of our face and we won't see it. Some of you all are laughing right now. Some of y'all have been in situations before where everybody told you what was going on. Oh, I don't think he's the man for you, girl. I think you need to do thus and thus and so. I don't understand. I don't see it. He's just good for me. Okay. You only see what you want to see. There's some people out there that's able to see. Woo! And I need y'all to listen to your youth right now. Because if they tell you that they're starting to experience repeating numbers, starting to see flashes, starting to hear ringing in their ears, starting to experience deja vu, starting to be a little bit of telepathic in a way, understand that they are waking up indeed. And for all those that don't believe that you have these wonderful, powerful, that Yeshua, Jesus said that greater work shall ye do, alluding to this particular time where the Christ consciousness has returned, our abilities will start to open up. But if you don't think it's possible, to tap into the unseen, and if you haven't had that situation where you were just thinking about somebody and then they walked around the corner or they called you like immediately afterwards and you want to just chalk that up to coincidences, that's fine. You won't see any further, because let's believe your belief systems will open up the door to reality. And if your belief system is caught up and believing that everything of that ilk is of the devil. And if you just think about it for a few moments and you're going to get shot into hell, then congratulations, you signed up to be on that other realm of individuals. Not in the upper room that understand that they're divine beings. Not in the middle group where they're starting to discern what's going on and starting to question authorities and things of that nature. You'll be on the slow bus. For the ones who I don't see it, I just don't. Oh, okay, that's fine. There's something for everybody. So, number one, make sure that we're experiencing service to others. But first, you got to have the unconditional love for yourself. Making sure that we're expressing generosity. Understanding to be a benefit to all without any expectations. There's no need to go ahead and have a YouTube and have your people follow you around in your camera and you start handing out money to the homeless and things of that nature to get your YouTube videos up. Hey, camera on. Wanting to be seen in that particular light. Make sure you do something on a small level. We're not talking about donate millions of dollars to no children fund. If you see an older lady needing help, shout out to Sharif Ahmedi and the wonderful story that he shared about it today. Something small like that. Older lady needs assistance. Cans of SpaghettiOs is too tall. You see it? Make it a little closer. You got that door? Men. I'm a big proponent of individuals returning to the act of being a gentleman. Chivalry needs to return ASAP. Ooh, it chaps me when I see that lady out there, that woman out there vacuuming up, mowing the lawn. I saw that today. Made me chuckle. Said it to my son too. Each one teach one. I said, son, you see that? Had a woman out there just mowing back and forth. Had the man standing there with his hands on his hip. I said, oh, Lord. Individuals, you're walking down the side of the street. You got your woman on the curb. We don't do that around here. We make sure that we do our due diligence to help individuals that need to be helped, which is our youth. Which is our woman, the feminine aspect of ourselves. We're bigger and stronger for a reason. That don't make us better, folks. I tell young men all the time, the woman is the closest thing to God that you're going to find. She fed you, she gave you the food, she gave you the nourishment, housed you. Every man that's been in this particular world, at one point in time when you were in your first 6 weeks of gestation, yes, you did have a clitoris. That eventually, when you came from XX chromosome and you decided to go ahead and make that X or Y, then that's where the penis actually developed outside of that. We'll get to that at another time. So, this drop of knowledge on y'all. So, we got to make sure that we're doing self to others. Those that are trying to set us up with some not so pleasantries, those are individuals who are self-serving. They want all the resources. They want all the money. These are the individuals that are the 1% of population that own 99% of all wealth, all resources. And believe it or not, they're going for 99.9. The audacity of these individuals. Number two, these are qualities for a soul to gain mastery over oneself and start to ascend into these upper levels of frequency. Number two is we must become ethically, have integrity, or which is called virtue. This is alignment with universal laws, and we need to understand how we need to reflect in harmony in order to affect the whole. Believe it or not, yes, little old you have the ability to change the world. Like I said in my little opening, I know that I have the ability to change the world because when you change yourself, you start to open up the timeline in order to bring in what it is that you manifest, and you give permission for other people who are watching you to move into that dimension as well. There's a poem that I really, really enjoy. I forget the name of it, but it's in the Coach Carter movie, and you may have heard about before. It says, "What are we afraid of the most?" And to paraphrase, what we are afraid of the most is not that we are inferior. It is that we are powerful, more powerful beyond our own understanding. And that's scary if you think about it. And when we shine our light, shine like children do, without any looking to receive any expectation, unconditional. You can talk to a child and do something wrong and they get a little frown on their face, and then in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, they back at it. They let it go. We hold on to so many angry situations and hold on to a lot of discordant energy that keeps us in these lower realms. Let all that go, understanding that right now you can affect the whole. Just something simple of you opening up the door for an individual and you starting the frequency and then you see the person after them open it. People do that on, they go to Starbucks and things and they pay it forward. You understand how these viral situations take place and it can really affect things in a much quicker manner than you could ever even imagine. And here's some scientific note. Hopefully you all got pen and paper. I'm coming here bringing knowledge. This is what's called the 100th monkey effect. The 100 monkey effect is a scientific program that was developed by scientists that I believe is over in the Indonesian area. I'll speed this all up. Over in the Indonesian area, there was an island inhabited full of baboons, full of monkeys. So these scientists, researchers, actually were studying these monkeys. And one of them decided, because he was watching the monkeys, they was taking the coconuts. I need y'all to listen closely. They was taking a coconut and they was smashing a coconut on the rocks on the shores. And then they were taking the meat of the coconut and trying to eat it. That's what was the rule. That was the order of the day on the Monkey Island. I think it was called Kong Island. I'm being serious here, folks. I don't know what it was called Kong Island. However, so what the scientists did, what the researcher did, is actually taught the monkeys how to move to a shallower area in the beach and actually use the water and how to use the water to wash off the sand that had accumulated in the meat. You crack it open, you take it out with your hand, you put the water, you splashy, and therefore you're able to eat things that do not have sand in them and causing digestive issues. Simple pimple. They came back a couple years later. That one monkey, now it turned into 10 monkeys. 10 monkeys were now doing that. So they take careful notes and details of these new type of paradigms that's being opened. And so they returned back throughout time, and then it was 80, I ain't talking about percent, 80 monkeys. 80 monkeys were doing it, and they came back, and it was 90 monkeys. When they came back, and it was around what they surmised to be the 100th monkey. After they left, it was 99, 98, somewhere on that level. When they came back to visit the shores a few months later, every single last ape, monkey, on that particular island was actually doing the process of washing the sand off of it. So scientists know, even moving into AI technology, understand that things become viral really, really fast. And you don't need a lot of individuals to make a tremendous change in the world. That's my point. All we need is certain individuals operating on this level map of consciousness here. If you take 100 individuals that are operating in peace, love, they have the power to overset or counterbalance even 500,000 for those who are living in this lower realm. I'll say that again. If you take 100 individuals who are operating on this higher level of map of consciousness, they're operating in peace and love and bliss and serenity, understanding that life is perfect and complete and that God is all being and God is self. God is in every bit of things. God is in everything. God is in the good, God is in the bad. Understanding that puts you on a certain frequency level where you're not only are you able to manifest the things that you want in your life because you're understanding that you're only going to focus on what you want, because you already realize by focusing on what you don't want, you keep getting what you don't want. You keep getting that harmful card, you keep getting that bad relationship, you keep getting that cursed interactions with individuals. But as you change, as a man thinketh, so is he. So as you change your frequency, change your thinking, then literally what you can expect in your physical life, things in your experience will be changing around. And those 100 individuals, I'll make this very clear, that are operating in this particular upper regions of love, peace, and things of that nature, they can and they do and they will counterbalance 50,000, 100,000, depending on how lower you go, the more increment of numbers that they counterbalance. So yes, you can have a tremendous effect, greater than what you ever think, by being your ethical self. So let's shine our light out there, everybody. Number 3, we got to understand the detachment from illusion of separation. And basically what that is sharing is that we have this part of our body. We have two. If you understand it in this third dimensional matrix, there's up and there's down. There's a front and there's a back. There's a high and there's low. There's a cold and there's hot. These dualities that have been expressed in this physical dimension exist on this dimension. They don't exist in the higher realms of understanding. And so we can get caught up, even in our daily lives, of rooting for one. We got a Democrat or Republican. And we're sitting there biting our fingers and we're given the illusion of the duality of there being, you have to pick a side. No. You do not have to pick a side. You can respect. This was going on with the Drake and Kendrick Lamar thing. It's kind of Coke or Pepsi. You know, as we divide, as we know, divide and conquer. The more you can get individuals divided on particular issues, they cannot unite. And if they do not unite, they can never understand the true power. So we must detach from the illusion of separation by understanding that everything, that God, like I was saying, is that frequency that's in every animate and inanimate being. Yes, it's in the cow, it's in the dog, it's in the roach, it's in everything that's animate and inanimate. And when you understand and you don't put yourself above one another, you remove judgment when you see an individual that is operating in a naughty way, as we say. Understand that every different frequency, every different being is here for a different reason. So you got individuals that's playing the victim role. Yes, I'm a big proponent of reincarnation. You have lived before. I have lived before. Your youth have lived before. And some of the youth are actually remembering these. Go ahead and check YouTube. There's a plethora of videos of individuals who are remembering their past lives. And it's all coming full circle as we move into this next 6-7 years. Got some tremendous stuff to be focusing on here, folks. But moving on, these are all qualities for our soul to gain mastery of oneness and move into this enlightenment period, which we have an opportunity to evolve with the earth as the earth is actually alive, and going to another frequency, another octave level. Let me prove that to you. For those who need proof, go ahead and consult this. Go check this on DuckDuckGo. I don't say Google, because you might find this in all your social media. Like we'll be on TikTok. Like, man, I just had that on Google. So go to DuckDuckGo, and what you'll find, if you want to, seeking ye shall find, that the center core of the earth has slowed in its rotation. Did you even know that the core of the earth actually rotated? Yes, class. I'm giving out homework. So that because of that center core, because of the time that we're living in, because of the frequency that's coming from the sun, and not only this planet, but all the other planets in the solar system are increasing in their frequency as well. As this earth begins to wake up, you will see more earthquakes, hurricanes. We see now, guys, one that's coming. I was a little bit out of breath right here. I was jogging before I came in. I was at the gym kind of working out a little bit. And while I was at the gym looking at the TV screen, there's another hurricane on the way. And this one, and I got to do my research because Ptah Shakur, I do my research. But when I was sitting there looking, I said, why is this hurricane spawning in the Gulf of Mexico? Like, where used to hurricanes coming from this way? I've been alive for a little bit. I've been watching the news for a little bit. And I know where them hurricanes be coming from. They come from the east to the west. But I see this hurricane coming this way. Where is he coming from? And then and that's not even the kicker. The hurricane that came last year was the hurricane that came up, the Baja, California, came up, hit California. Who would have thought? A hurricane hitting California. This is all sign of the times, people. This is all speaking to exactly what I'm speaking about right now, is that there's an interconnectedness of all things. What you see going on in the sun and the different sunspots, and the sun is getting ready to switch in its polarity. Same too is happening to Earth right now. So this dog that is waking up, there's certain areas that is going to be subducted, is going into the water. Certain areas in the water are going to become up. This is how the Earth revitalizes and rejuvenates the materials and the minerals that are in the earth, brings them to the top. It's much like a lava lamp. Even in this, in Kenya, where's the Chad? Kenya, I believe. This whole entire continent of Kenya is splitting asunder. When's the last time you heard of a whole continent splitting? And with deep LiDAR scanning, they're finding out that underneath of the continent of Africa is a whole nother continent under Africa. And if you was to look at it, in that particular perspective, you would see that it looks like a giant tree. And basically this landmass is being birthed and is coming up, and it splits out. It's going to split Africa in half, or Absalon. I hope I'm correcting it. It's not called Africa, folks. It was called something before the settlers went over there. However, this particular landmass that is being birthed right now, go ahead and don't do it now because the show's not over yet. Go ahead and check me out. And you'll see that this landmass is coming up, and as it does, it's going to protrude and it's going to split and cause, and this is Pangea. We all know that the plate tectonics and everything move around. You already knew that. And you also already knew that the motherland was always the greatest place with the most nutrients and the most resources. They know who we are. They know the greatness that's there and the energy of the individuals that live there. They understand how great you are, black man, black woman, and everybody from that indigenous reason. They know. They make sure that we don't know. However, that is how the earth revitalizes itself, believe it or not. Those heavy metals and those minerals, then they come up from the molten hot metal. When they come up, they redeposit those minerals on the surface where it's needed at. It's much like when you see what's going on in Hawaii, that those different volcanic eruptions. It looks terrible at first. Everything is just black and smoldering and hot. It looks disgusting. However, let it cool down. Let a couple of little water hits in, a couple of seas. It is an automatic chill. It has all those nutrients that's in there. And so that's proof positive that this is a revitalization process that's going on and around. Moving on and grooving on. I'm checking my time here. Got about like a couple more minutes. So these are, like I said, just mentioned, these are qualities for self-mastery. I'm going to kind of speed some of these up. And I will be going in depth with each and last one of these. This is somewhat of a curriculum that I'm kind of bringing. This is one-on-one level right now. I'm about to step this up to 202, 303. We got some advanced level knowledge that need to be going into very, very shortly. So check Ptah Shakur there on YouTube, and you're going to see this particular video. So these are all qualities that individuals that are looking to master self and move into levels of enlightenment, of ascension. We must have a will for spiritual awakeness. You must have a want to learn yourself, to learn about the divinity. Yes, you. If you can hear the sound of my voice, you are a divine being. When you lay down to sleep at night, the greater part of you, you get to visit the greater part of you. This is a small snippet of you that's in this physical world. No, you're not a physical being. Newsflash. And not just saying my disclaimer. Warning. The information you hear may upset you, may depress you, may trigger you. You are not a spiritual being. You're not a physical being. Instead, you are a spiritual being that is living into this matrix, living into this illusionary complex, all for the purpose of relearning how you are a divine being for the second time. You're going to re-add what it is that you've already learned to. It's much like if you're an excellent video game designer, you wanted to see the handiwork of what it is that you produce. You're able to take a particular pill or something to cause amnesia for a week, and then you play the video game, and then you gain mastery the second time, all to get to the point to say, man, I'm a master. That's the whole purpose of this life and the creation we're living in right now. So we must have a will to find spiritual material. Yes, there's quite a bit that we can be involved in. I know everybody's talking about Diddy. Everybody's talking about all this entertainment. We got entertainment. There's so many games you can play on your phone that's wasting your time. There's so many things that'll get you distracted instead of working on yourself, learning how to breathe, learning how to meditate, learning how to ask yourself, and you will get a response from self if you listen to your heart. Do not put this thing away. Believe it or not, if when you run information through your brain, through your mind, it's a much slower, arduous process and ineffective process because you have to run everything through your subconscious. You got to run everything through your belief system, through your indoctrination. But if you follow your heart will tell you real quick. Ladies, you out there, you know you're more tapped in than the brothers is. You have that tinkling in your heart. My heart tells me, do what your heart says 100 out of 100% of this time, and you will move and groove on to some of the aspects that I'm kind of speaking on to right now. So, in short, I'm not going to belabor this too much, but it's very, very important that I want to leave up with this message. This is a message to our youth. And these are things that we must constantly teach our youth because the future is our youth. Long ago, there was days of individuals back in the civil rights era that toiled and fought, bled, cried, sweat to help produce a tree for now that the youth, the individuals now, we're enjoying the fruits of that truth, enjoying the shade of that truth, of that tree. We're enjoying all these things. However, those individuals put that work in knowing that they never had the opportunity to experience it. So we must make sure that we put this love, light, and education forward in our youth right now so they can help bring about the world that we always want to have. So number one thing out of 7 that we need to teach our youth, these are principles to help attain spiritual, mental, and physical freedom. Number 1, they must have a definiteness of purpose. You got to find something that you want this planet to do. Now, I know anybody between the age of 17 to 25, we are not asking you to have mastery over anything, but we're asking you to find something that you want to put your life in your soul, and you run towards that with no hesitation, no consternation. You make sure that you follow your heart and you go into the definiteness of purpose. Because believe it or not, if you're alive right now, I don't care how you came into the world. You could have been a child of rape, child of incest, child of anything. But you are a divine being and you're here on this planet now and you do serve a purpose. Number 2, you must have mastery over self. If that requires that you eliminate some people that's in your friend zone that keep allowing you or keep pulling out that impulsive nature in you, you want to do the due diligence and use your mind and be very intentional about what you want to bring in. We don't want to be an individual just fly off at the handle and let our impulses, because best believe those impulses are being trained into us through the music, through our subconscious, through the media and the different things that we watch. Those are the things that are kind of setting us up. So use this thing. This is the greatest tool that you're ever going to have. Number 3, you must learn from adversity. Anybody who's operating in sports understands this. There's no such thing as failure. Make sure that whenever you lose a game, you lose a match, you lose whatever, make sure you get back to the drawing board and you put your hand on your chin and you say, you hit the thinking pose. What do I need to improve? What can I take from this loss, this seemingly failure, to catapult me towards success? Number 4, we must control our environmental influences. If you got children right now, you should have already did that. If they got YouTube, put a lock on it. If you're listening to the radio, you like listen to that nasty, sensational, salacious, vulgar music, don't let your youth listen to that. Go ahead and put your earphones in. Listen to that yourself. Let's have a controlled place of active refinement for our youth. Let's not put filth and swine into their mind. We also must teach the youth as far as how to use time and use it to their advantage. And we also need to teach our youth how to be very, very cautious and move with that, like I said, the definiteness of purpose, and you couple that with the constant applying of mathematics. There is no limits that an individual can experience. So these are certain things that we need to teach our youth. Like I said, this is the Ptah Shakur Speaks program every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sometimes I take little days off. I had to spend some time with my young man, my youngin'. Last Monday we was out amongst nature, getting some of that beautiful Mother Nature in us. But you can catch me in here in this program. You can catch me on Ptah Shakur Speaks there on YouTube and see the plethora of videos that I've already put. So in short, I asked everybody. I need everybody to get in contact with the God divine within. And how do you do that? You need to find peace first. And believe it or not, like I said, the individuals that are your elected officials and your authorities, so you say, are doing their best to make sure that you do not have that peace of mind. We need to get that peace of mind back. Go find them all. Go out into nature. Go into motion. Motion begets motion. We talked about the lower land of depression. Go do something. And you'll see that that impetus will lead you to other things. So when you find that heaven on earth, I promise you, when you do find it, you'll get in contact with the God divine within. And when you get in contact with the God divine within, let's do our due diligence to share our love and light with everybody out in your vicinity. And let's bring this heaven on earth. This is Ptah Shakur, and love and light to you all. Star Sea salute.